All right, let's talk about a word you've probably heard 1,000 times by now. Serverless. What the heck is it really? I mean, does it mean the internet just runs on magic now? No machines? Let's figure this out. And right away, the name itself is the first big question mark. Serverless? That sounds impossible, doesn't it? How can you possibly run an application without a server? It's a totally fair question, and the answer, well, it's probably not what you're expecting. So let's dive right in and pull back the curtain on this whole thing. Time to get to the truth behind that super confusing name. Okay, let's just rip the Band-Aid off right now. The short answer, yes, there are still servers. Lots of them. I'm talking massive warehouse-sized data centers packed to the gills with servers. So why in the world would anyone call it serverless? Well, here's the key. The word serverless isn't about getting rid of servers entirely. It's about your experience. As a developer, you become serverless. It's a model where you just don't have to think about them anymore. The big cloud providers, your Amazons, Googles, Microsofts of the world, they manage all that stuff for you. You just focus on writing your code, and they take care of everything else behind the scenes. And this idea, this handing over of responsibility, that is the absolute heart of serverless. It's a massive shift in who's doing the heavy lifting. Which brings us to our next point, the management shift. This chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? In the traditional model, you're the one managing the servers, provisioning everything, and basically worrying about infrastructure all the time. But in the serverless model, the cloud provider handles all that. Resources just pop into existence when you need them and disappear when you don't. Your job shifts from being an infrastructure manager to just focusing on your application's code. It's a total change in perspective. And this quote just nails it. The whole point is to let developers do what they do best, write code, not manage infrastructure. Think about all that time and energy that used to go into maintaining servers. Now it can go straight into building amazing new features and better products. Okay, so we get it. Developers are happier. That's great. But what does this actually mean for a business? Why is this being called such a game changer? Well, the benefits are frankly huge. The list of perks is pretty long. You save money, which we'll get to in just a sec. Your team gets to focus on code, but it's also amazing for event-driven applications, things that react to an event, like processing a photo the second you upload it. And it's an absolute lifesaver for anything with unpredictable workloads. Think about a site selling concert tickets. It's dead quiet most of the time, and then boom, it gets hit with a massive spike. Serverless handles that perfectly. All right, let's talk about that money-saving part, because this is a really big deal. In the old way, you had to pay for a server to just sit there, running 24/7, whether anyone was using it or not. It's kind of like leaving all the lights on in your house, even when you're on vacation. But with serverless, you are only charged for the actual usage. The billing meter literally only runs when your code is executing. The second it stops, the meter stops. You go from paying for a server to be available to paying only for what you actually use. Okay, so this all sounds great on paper, right? But is anyone actually using this stuff? Let's take a look at serverless out in the wild. Oh yeah, absolutely. We're talking about powerhouse services used by thousands and thousands of companies. You've got AWS Lambda, which is sort of the classic example. It lets you run little snippets of code without a server. Then there's API Gateway to manage how your app talks to the world, and DynamoDB, a super fast database that just scales up and down for you. These aren't some niche experimental tools. They are major building blocks of the modern internet. So let's wrap this up. We figured out that serverless doesn't mean no servers. It really means no server management for you. It's all about hiding that insane complexity so developers can just create. And that really leaves us with one final, pretty exciting question to think about. What could you build if you never had to worry about infrastructure again?